Welcome everybody as a part of Data Exchange Dev Day. My name is Kunal Savarkar. I'm the Distinguished Engineer for IBM's Generative AI. And along with me, I have Lana. And together we are going to walk you through multi-agent workflows targeted for enterprise AI. Lana, would you like to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Kunal. Hi, everyone. I am Lana, part of the build engineering team at IBM, where I serve as a program manager for AI agents. I work with partners to explore use cases and align the right IBM technologies to support those use cases.
Thank you. So today we are going to show some of the Agentic solution that we are bringing it to all of you as a part of solving the most complex and real problems in enterprises. So let me get started. Um, uh, One of the biggest problem with the agentic solution is that customer want agentic solution that adds value to their entire business workflow. While what we see currently in the market is trying to solve very specific and targeted actions or the tasks like send an email, fetch the record. So this is not exactly what companies are giving when they are offering their agentic platforms to the customer. They want a solution, irrespective of whatever the underlying platform, that solves their entire business workflow and adds the value to the entire journey in terms of reducing the effort that is currently required. And that is exactly the gap we are trying to solve by introducing you to the Agentrix. It is designed to solve real, hard, and complex enterprise problem. It is designed for scale, inspired by the real client stories. And in this case, you can use the pre-built agentic workflows off the shelf and experience the value first, than invest in purchasing a platform, build it out, and then see if it works or not. And the entire premise of this is that we target not just individual tasks, but specific enterprise problem and the problem that require more and more agents to tackle it. Now, when people use the word agent in whichever way and form that they consider it suitable to them. But let me first start, before I jump into what Agentrix can do, start defining what an agentic AI is. So if generative AI is like an internet, as everybody is comparing them to, then you can think of LLMs as the operating systems. They offer this general purpose intelligence through which you can communicate and solve majority of your intelligence task, just as you could do with a traditional operating system for computing tasks. Now, if LLMs are an operating system, then agents are the apps. And this is very critical because you probably have been aware that internet was invented back in the 60s, not in the 90s when it became so popular, but it was the apps, whether it is the smartphone or the internet, that made them so impactful. People doesn't care about the underlying technology, they care about what you can do with an app, like you can buy online with Amazon, or you can call an Uber through an app. It is those apps that make it touch human lives. Like my mom only cares about an app that gives her a grocery. Now, that is the impact agents are going to have when we talk about our real world and the businesses. It's an equivalent of apps designed to solve very specific complex problem, but is very close to the end user and the impact it has. Now, everybody loves to define agents in their own way. For some, an agent is somebody I can have hundreds of them, and they can do each and everything just simply out of the box. Or an agent should be pretty much one person who is capable of doing lots of different things. Now, clearly, if you are faced with those two choices, you are going to pick the one who is actually capable of solving multiple things. And that is exactly the motivation that we had when we were designing Agentrix. So Let me first try and simplify and define what we have been able to do in terms of a different definition of the agents. So there are simple agents which can solve a specific UI problem, a specific functional problem. And then there are higher agents, which we call multi-agent reasoning system, where multiple agents collaborate with each other. So think of it as a multi-layer cake where the foundational layer is the platform. The next layer are these task-based agents and tools. A task-based agent, which as I have defined, can do certain tasks and then communicate with the underlying tooling. Like I need an weather information. I need to solve a particular labor scheduling problem. So these are what I can call a level one agent that are there. But then you can take it to the next level. Imagine a human which is doing a 5 different tasks by going into 5 different software. Now, if a human can do it, why not AI? Imagine an AI which is combining 5 different workflows together by automating it across a certain level of a business logic. And think of that what it can do to specific enterprise problems like compliance, audit, SOC 2 certification, automated threat remediation, and being able to solve the entire business process by just having a natural text conversation with the user. Once you have it, you can think of it and take it to the even next level and say, like, do I really need to be an AI engineer in order to build this agent? Why can't I just have a user friend where I text in a natural language and build my agent and get all of this out of the box and then tweak it to solve my end use case? Now, that is exactly what we are going to offer as a part of Agentrix. You can get a pre-built agentic solution which has a multi-agent reasoning capability, but no enterprises will actually be able to probably solve 100% of it in all the situation. It may be very good to do 90%, and that is where we are also allowing you to tweak and modify the agent to suit your own application. And in order to do that, it comes up with all the tooling that the developer requires. It has a live and hosted application to draw the inference, a design deck, a 30-second developer video, a GitHub repo, and the reference architecture to build it up. So having laid that foundation, I want to share with you then what exactly are these enterprise use cases which I'm talking about by solving with multi-agent workflows. So in this case, we have divided it into two categories, which we are calling a killer agent and the basic agent, based on how autonomous they are in terms of intelligence. So a killer agent is something that solves a really complex enterprise problem, and the basic agent is trying to test new idea and automation tasks. And while Lana will quickly walk you through the how you can get started with this and what the catalog has to offer, I want to mention that IBM has been big proponent of being able for developers to bring any agents built anywhere on any platform to work on the enterprise platform of watsonx Orchestrate. So watsonx Orchestrate offers routing and other enterprise capability to build secure agent behind the firewall, no risk of leaking like an MCP server, but at the same time, allowing you to communicate with the open source protocol and the tooling like MCP and ACP, as well as the BAI framework, which we have used, which we are continue to use as the part of this underlying development. So now let's get started by defining what does exactly an enterprise workflow look like and how we are revolutionizing that with an agentic AI. Imagine a plant or a complex manufacturing operation like oil refinery or the airport operation. Currently, to manage all the physical assets, a site manager reviews and monitors the alerts. A plant manager notices something because something will always fail and go ahead and updates it. and then they need to find the replacement for that work order in order to fix it up. Now, ops manager will then review the work order, then get into the schedule to replace it, and then finally put the system back on order. You need to know, find the right person who will replace it. You need to find the right schedule that fits the person. You need to find right weather condition. Let us say if you are having oil refinery, to replace it. Now with Agentic AI, we can reduce the SLA from something like a weeks to minutes. You can have an army of agent that detects the anomalies from the data and recommend the next best action. And then the site manager only has the job by when the agent has generated work order to put it in place to get it effected. So that's the impact you can have by shrinking any business workflow by over 80% with the help of Agentic AI. Now, this is not the only one use case that we have. We have dozens of them, and also an intuitive way for anybody who is not an expert in Agentic AI to build it and use it. And that is where I would request Lana to take over and walk you through the same.
Thank you, Kunal. So Tim, I'm going to start sharing my screen and actually show you what we have begun to build. Okay, let me know if you can see it. So I assume you can. So this is the beta preview of IBM Agentrix platform. And we're just getting started. That's why it's in beta. But very soon, this platform will become a lot more comprehensive. Currently, the platform acts like an AI agent that helps you to build other agents. We built this platform using IBM's What's Next stack and other related technologies. So everything you see on here is powered by the same tools that we're putting in the hands of developers and enterprises. So the idea is to make it really easy to go from an idea to a working AI agent or solution. So we've organized agents into two main groups, just like Kunal has mentioned. First, we have this killer agents, and then we also have base agents. So killer agents are those more comprehensive agents built for real enterprise use cases that Kunal has described. Right now, we have 5 of them. 3 are integrated with IBM Maximo. If you're not familiar with Maximo, it's an IBM's platform for asset management. So it helps organizations manage everything from equipment maintenance to field operations. We have one on threat detection that uses Hashi Guardiam Vault to secure managed credentials together with Elasticsearch and IBM Guardium. And then we also have decision optimization use case that uses IBM CPlex modeling. And then under the basic agents, we have 8 different agents designed to really do one thing really well.
The screen seems to be frozen, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let me stop sharing and maybe to share again. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes. So
okay.
We met the Agentrix home screen.
Got it. And then are you able to see me flipping between killer and base? Okay, perfect. So as I was saying, under the killer agents, we have 5 so far. And under the base agents that are standalone agents designed to do one thing really well, we have 8. However, the list will continue to grow. We are actively increasing this library of different use cases. So please make sure that you check in to, check in later to see what else we have created. So the whole experience for Agentrix is designed for creative technologists, or what we like to call vibe coders. So people who want a fast way to find agents that are actually relevant to their work. the ability to tweak and customize without starting from scratch, and a low friction way to go basically from business problems and objectives to a working agent or a working solution. Right now, all those agents that we have listed in here act as templates. So for example, if I'm going to select Maximo Weather Agent, you can see that a predefined prompt will appear in the screen. However, in the future, what we're hoping to do is that you will be able to use this builder to create any general purpose or fully custom agents using natural language commands. So basically, once I select one of the templates and kickstart the process, the system begins to build the workflow. First, it triggers an event. In case of the Maximo Weather use case, a Maximo work order reaches a designated status, and the scheduler manually clicks a schedule work button. Then you get location info, where Maximo sends the work order number to Agentic AI, and Agentic AI retrieves the associated location and service addresses using a Maximo tool. Then we're fetching a weather forecast. We also have the logic for the decision making. So for example, if weather is favorable, the agent proceeds to schedule the work order. However, if the condition is unfavorable, then the agent recommends delaying the work. We also have what if statements, right? If scheduled or if delayed. And then we have data write back. So the updated schedule is written back to the Maximo. So here you have all the different steps that the agent would take. So once I review the steps, I click on continue. And on the right-hand side, I get a markdown preview of the steps that the system takes in order to create this agent. I'm just going to go back to the markdown preview for a second. Currently, these are not expendable, but in the future, we're hoping that this will be expandable and collapsible, and you will be able to see all the code and everything that is happening behind the scenes. So for example, as Python dependencies are being defined, you will be able to review and see them. So once the agent is built, we have this chat interface that populates automatically, and we created a few examples for you to try this with. So I'm choosing the first one, and I'm asking the question about assessing the viability of performing field work for work order 1208. And the system will begin by analyzing the current and forecasted weather condition, and basically will update the schedule dates accordingly for me. Here it is. So now I just received the confirmation that the work order has been updated to the following location. The current weather at the Bloomingdale is 29.3 Celsius with the wind speeds such and such. And based on the current working condition, it is recommended to schedule the work order. So everything has been completed in the backend. And let's just use the second example to see what else can we review. It's taking a few minutes. Okay, and now we have the current weather at the following location, together with the scheduled start date and finish date. So this is one example. As I said, we have quite a few. If you go back, we have 4 more for you to experiment with under the killer agents, and we have 8 more for you to experiment with under the base agents. With that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and see if there are any questions.
Yeah. So while everybody is typing the questions, I think our vision behind creating this kind of an Agentrix experience is that you can easily try and build enterprise agent without having to worry about learning underlying software. So we have an agent that can talk for cybersecurity to IBM HashiCorp or Vault. You can have an agent that Lana just showed on Maximo. Now, Maximo is a very well recognized software, or something like a decision optimization, which is a very complex mathematical software, or on Kubernetes, or on vehicle maintenance. So we want to make sure that you will be able to do this complex task without having to learn the underlying software and get off the ground quickly in, as she said, within 10 to 15 minutes by completely sitting on the top AI layer. Okay.
Yep. Kunal, and before you continue, I just wanted to share my screen one more time because we're hoping to collect as much feedback from you guys as possible. So I just quickly want to share how you can actually provide your feedback to us. So to access this, agentic experience that you're building, you can go to developer.ibm.com, DSC persona, and then select Agentrix. I'm going to pause for a second in case you want to take a screenshot. And once you're in the Agentrix view, you can go to this provide feedback button, and this is where it's going to take you. So you can definitely do this if you're interested in contributing to development of this platform. And now I think we have a few questions. And the first one is, can I add the agent after I create it? And Kunal, please correct me if I'm wrong, but in the current shape and form, because it's in the beta preview, editing is not possible. However, absolutely, it's our goal to make all the agents editable. So before an agent is built and populated, you will have a preview of all the steps and all the components for your approval. And then once you approve it, it will be generated. If you want to go back and modify it, there will be an option to do it. But currently, it's not available.
Yeah, so currently we are in the beta mode where you are able to go and try the agent through the this particular app. The goal that we as an IBM always has is that you can take AI wherever your environment is. So even as of now, you can take the agent and the code inside your on-prem behind the firewall environment by putting in by going from this try experience into the buy experience, where you can get access to all the code and then tweak it accordingly. But ability to do so without even requiring to tweak the code using natural language will be coming soon as we go from beta to GA.
Yep. And then I think we have a similar question. How do I access the workflow/code for the agents? So everything will be available via that link that will be shared in the comment section now, which is developer.ibm.com/DSC Agentrix. That's where the code can be accessible. So then the next question that we have is from Jose, who says, actually, I have a customized made in-house CRM. Does this work order system can be linked to my CRM via API? Okay.
Yes, so it can. I mean, the whole system is can be connected through an API. You can I'm not sure if you are actually using the work order management system like Maximo there, or have it customized. But if you want to build an agent that can manage the work orders for you, you can build such an agent by connecting through the CRM. It will require the tweaking of the workflow that we are currently has in here, but that thing is absolutely possible. I mean, I think if I can see the common thread here is that look at this pre-built agent as providing you out of the box template. If you are a good engineer and capable of modifying the template, you are absolutely able to do so. But then we are also allowing you that those who are not an expert in the underlying software can do so using natural language options, which is what Lana had shared with you. So the two things can simultaneously exist.
So the next question we have is around data protection while using these agents. So what security measurements need to be set prior to implementing this agent?
Um, Absolutely great question, and this is where how IBM differentiates from many of the other offering. So watsonx Orchestrate is designed ground up with all the enterprise security baked in. So from the user to tooling protocol, whether you're accessing databases and other, are all secured connection. Unlike many of the news that you would have probably seen on MCP servers, where it is very easy to hack if you are hosting the MCP server outside your enterprise. The data protection has been baked in into the underlying framework on which these agents are built upon. Now, that's include watsonx Orchestrate platform as well as the ACP protocol, which is designed to take into account the agent-to-agent communication that has been done.
Okay, then we have a question about target GA date, right, for the complete Agentrix solution.
I mean, at the moment, we want to definitely make sure that it is done in the coming quarter itself. We are going live with the beta, and our target is to have a GA as soon as possible, but no later than Q3.
Okay, thank you. And then the next question is a very long one, but basically in the example that we just shared, where someone manually observes gauge reading and reports anomalies to further action, how would you approach building an AI agent for that kind of workflow, especially when there's no API or digital interface? Since a lot of enterprise environments still rely on human-driven analog processes, what strategies do you recommend to bridge that gap for automation?
That's a very good and interesting question. So within the same catalog that we have shared, we have one agent that we have built for vehicle maintenance. So vehicles have all these issues that it shows up, and then normally uses some kind of a telemetrics or the sensors to do so. So I think for any agent which lives in a digital world, it requires a digital interface, but we were able to build that agent by collecting the telemetrics data through the sensors. And that is the probably the right way to get started in this case as well. We have seen some other use cases like reading the gas meters, water meters, where the sensors are able to collect the data, and then an agent is managing if a gas leak is there very remotely. So we are seeing those interesting use cases as well.
Yep. Thank you, Kunal. I think those are all the questions that we had, and we're almost at the time. We have 2 minutes left, so the very last call for questions. And then if not, Lucas, I guess we're back to you.
I think there is one more question which has came.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Lana, you can probably take this one. So what's the main difference between Agentrix and watsonx Orchestrate?
Yes. So watsonx Orchestrate is a platform that has all the building blocks that are needed to build an agentic system. However, it's not a solution on its own, right? Like you are using watsonx Orchestrate to build other agents. With Agentrix, we're hoping to make those solutions and AI agents that we have already built available to you as templates to spark your imagination and become a starting point for you as you're building your AI agents. So watsonx Orchestrate is kind of under the covers of the Agentrix experience itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining us from across the world for today's Dave session. And we are looking forward to hearing your feedback on the beta as well as your interesting use cases on Agentic AI. Please reach out to me or Lana, to both of us, and have a great evening or have a great day wherever you
Thank you,
are.
everyone. Thanks.